Hey there, everybody. This is Kyle. We're bringing you some more commentary of the Tving OSL. This is the round of 4, Flash versus Fantasy, a true battle of titans between two of the best Terran players of all time. And Flash is, of course, one of my favorite players to watch. I'm excited about this matchup. Thank you guys for watching. I have to say I appreciate all the fans out there. Flash with a cut on his elbow, maybe a bionic arm or something, inserted to improve his APM. Uh, Fantasy, one of the best Terrans around, well-rounded and creative and fun to watch from what I remember from 3 years ago. Both have very good Terran versus Terran records. Fantasy at 62%, Flash at 73%. That's absolutely incredible. Flash maybe with a slight advantage because he is, of course, a cyborg. Fantasy, though, could defeat him nonetheless. And here on the map, Neil, ground zero, we have Flash on the upper left and Fantasy on the bottom left. And I have to say, thank you guys for watching these videos. I loved all the comments, the 400 comments I got so far on the videos I uploaded last night of Jang B versus Zero. Just very heartwarming, and honestly, I really appreciate it. It's great to hear from many of you. Some familiar names commenting, some that I don't remember, but the fact that you guys still watch my videos after such a long time really is amazing to me, and I really appreciate it. So, I'll be talking throughout these videos more about my life, I guess. I guess I'm not so scared about revealing details about myself as it was a few years ago for some reason. I was, but yeah, in case you guys were wondering for so long, the school I attended in the Northeast was Harvard. I know I'm a huge nerd, but yeah, I did graduate from there in 2009, and I've been, working in different places since. I'll be going to law school in a few months. I won't reveal exactly where I'm going, but it'll be somewhere on the East Coast. So, for those who have always been wondering, who've always been messaging me, that's what I've been doing. So we'll see what is going on here between these two players. Flash has not built his barracks yet, whereas Fantasy has, which indicates to me that he's probably going to go for some kind of fast expansion. Going to go for a 14 command center or something like that, and try to pick up the economic lead in this big. Obviously, the Terran versus Terran matchup is one of the biggest economy matchups out there in general. One of the the longest games, and some of the most intense late game play. So Flash is going to have an early advantage here. Of course, that could be mitigated if Fantasy gets off some fast tech and gets off some harassment of his economy or whatever. Fantasy is just checking for anything suspicious going on. He is gonna now go for an expansion of his own, and he is gonna now scout Flash's base. He's gonna see the 14cc, and we'll see what else he sees. Yeah, he's gonna see it, and he's gonna looks like do some harassment of the SCV building the barracks. Smart move there. Gonna force Flash to pull off an SCV and chase his SCV away. And both players, of course, on top of the ELO and Kespa rankings. I remember casting some great fantasy games, but I have to say I absolutely love casting Flash games. So he is my, I guess if I'm, being a little bit biased, I guess so he is my favorite player here. I hope he does advance to fight the winner of the other round, which I won't say. Flash looks like he's going to try walling off the front of his base. He's going to bring some more SCVs. And, oh, it looks like he's actually building a bunker. So I thought that was another supply depot, but it's actually a bunker to help protect against any kind of early rush that he might see. Flash looks like, yeah, he's going to chase away that SCV. Oh, gets it in the bunker just in time to increase its range slightly and kill off the SCV. So good work there by Flash. Meanwhile, Fantasy and Flash both building factories right now. Flash with a slight economic lead, like I was saying. What else do I want to say about myself? I'm still, a huge fan of history, as you guys all know. So I've been reading a great book right now about the end of the Civil War called April 1865, which is about the critical decisions that were made right at the end of the war, and I'd highly recommend it. Looks like Flash somehow manages to get an SCV inside of Fantasy's base, and Flash is going to pursue the economic advantage by putting down 2 factories, and looks like going for sort of a standard build. So is Fantasy, putting down a 2nd factory. Flash has probably seen that by now. So Vulture play, tank play, coming soon up for both players. Some questions that were asked. Am I going to do StarCraft 2? At this point, I am probably not going to, and I know that's might make you guys sad because this is the last, perhaps pro-level tournament played with Brood War. But I honestly don't have the experience as Starport going up there. I honestly don't have the experience to really do, competent StarCraft 2 commentaries. Hell, I don't really have the experience to do competent StarCraft 1 commentaries, but I'm still doing them anyway. But we'll see. We'll see if I have time. I have a feeling I probably won't because I'm going to be a 1L soon, and that of course is one of the most busy times possible. I'm going to be focused purely on just getting my grades up and doing all that good stuff. So, double machine shops for Flash's factories. Fantasy going to float over barracks and spot that. Armory and Academy up for Fantasy. So both players just going to ratchet up their tech and try to gain some kind of advantage. Both players with starports too. So we'll see some air action too. It should be really exciting to watch. Flash has some great micro with his control, and Fantasy, of course, pretty sharp himself. Dropships, Goliaths, tanks, all of that I expect to come pretty soon. Fantasy going to have down a Comstat station too, just in case there's cloak rates. And so we'll, no, that's still Fantasy putting down 2 Comstat stations and chasing away Flash's barracks. So both players just gonna try to get their economies up, get their production levels up, and we'll see what happens. A belated thanks too to University of Chicago for inviting me back in October or November of 2009 to their university. It was a lot of fun to go there and cast some games, and unfortunately afterwards I just had a lot going on in my life, and not all of it very pleasant, but it just stopped me from doing commentary for maybe a year in total, and then afterwards it was just hard to pick up again. But I am back, and I'll be doing some more commentaries, at least of the OSL, and maybe some Pro League also in the next few weeks, because I'm done with my job, and I'm just taking it easy right now before law school. Alright, anyway, Flash is going to move out, and so is Fantasy. Both players probably with Siege Tech right now, both with a good mix of units, and Flash expanding again to 12 o'clock position. So, yep, Siege Tech up Flash, and he's going to try to establish a contain in the center of the map, or at least a forward position in the center of the map. So will Fantasy. Both are going to jostle for position before they start getting dropships, and really playing that positional battle. Whoever gets a contain up first, of course, will have a big economic advantage. Flash is going to try to push it with that extra command center up there at the top. Meanwhile, Fantasy now, with double upgrades going on in his machine shops, going to get those mines also. And just going to try to push out. It looks like, yeah, he has mines already, and he is going to secure his own side of the map. Fantasy probably thinking about expanding soon also. So we'll see. Flash with a solid defense there, though. And he's going to put down some more factories, it seems. And control towers. So, going to go for some dropships also. This is one of those matchups that can go, an hour, or it could end quickly, but at this point I don't think so. This is going to be a long matchup. So, we'll see what happens. Fantasy with a lot of vultures. He might decide to well, he's going to mine up the center of the map, and then he might try to go up and put down some mines next to the tanks. We'll see if that happens. Now he is expanding at a rather vulnerable position that Flash has just scanned. So that could make a big difference there. Now that he knows Fantasy is expanding at this 9 o'clock position on the map, that's going to be prone to harassment, prone to drops. Flash has got one Wraith there. It's going to get chased away by the Goliath or killed off. But, oh, SCV lives. Wow. I'm surprised Flash didn't kill it off. Now they're showing us maybe 8 factories up for Flash versus maybe 4 for Fantasy. So Flash pushing an economic lead early in this game. I should know this, but I believe, well, actually, I believe it's not possible to besiege Flash's natural expansion from the 9 o'clock position, but I may be wrong. Fantasy, meanwhile, Flash, meanwhile, with dropships coming out also. Um, and we'll see if he decides to use it to expand or for some kind of sneaky drop. Looks like it is going to be for some kind of sneaky drop. It might just get, nope, not going to be seen by the SCV, not going to be seen by anything. Flash really going the long way around with this dropship. Really going to be able to get the surprise factor down here and cause some damage to Fantasy's economy. We'll have to see if he does. Oh, looks like double drop coming from Flash, who's going to gets caught with the second drop. 4 vultures coming down here, and looks like a couple of vultures coming down in the natural expansion of Fantasy also. This could cause a lot of damage to to Fantasy's economy. We'll have to see. Looks like Flash has not microed it so that he could actually pick off that many SCVs. He's fighting vultures in the main base. It looks like he is going to get killed off there. So I'm not sure if that drop was particularly that effective for Flash. Oh, looks like some tanks gonna get hurt by these mines here, but a good micro there by Flash, not losing any of them. And looks like, yeah, a lot of Vulture versus Vulture combat. This is really big army versus big army here. Vultures being like the cavalry of the armies, just engaging before the main forces engage. Flash sieging up here in the middle, and just gonna catch a Vulture. Both players trying to jostle for position. I wouldn't be surprised if both players decide to start dropping on top of each other's tanks pretty soon. Actually, a little bit surprised Flash hasn't started doing that, especially because I haven't seen that many Goliaths around. Now he does have a dropship in the center. Flash with a superior position at this point, and with a 4th base going up now at the upper right. A Valkyrie up for Flash, just in case there's a lot of Wraiths, I guess. That's interesting. Alright, so looks like Flash is going to keep advancing in the center here. Fantasy going to lose a couple of tanks. Flash, though, might lose a whole bunch more of tanks, but no. It looks like those Vultures didn't line up those tanks. They are going to run past Flash. We'll see where they decide to go here. It looks like they're going to go for the upper right, maybe, and try to pick off that SCV, but it's not going to work. Flash there with 2 Vultures. Very nice work there by Flash. Really getting his economy up. And both players not really harassed at this point. Flash with a superior position, though, I'd say. Yeah, with a better angle. And now Flash putting down some Vultures to kill off the SCV, building an expansion. Nice work there by Flash. Science facility up in the main base. Flash might lose that dropship, though, but it doesn't matter. He got his Vultures down. Now he's going to do some more harassment in the main base. Nice work by Flash. And Fantasy right now looks like he doesn't have that much to kill off those Vultures that are doing a lot of damage to his economy. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Fantasy did manage to sneak some Vultures across, it looks like, to the upper right expansion. So they're going to put down some mines, causing a little bit of a trap there in case any tanks come up. But we'll see. Yeah, stopping the mining at least at the upper right. Meanwhile, Flash could be walking into a mine trap here. No, looks like those were his mines. And Flash, oh, once again stopping the building on the bottom expansion. Nice work there by Flash. Both players still jostling for position. Flash with the enveloping position, the concave, and Fantasy with the convex position there and the curves. Flash is might lose a tank or two to those Wraiths, but we'll see. Looks like Flash is gonna get pushed again, though. Fantasy with a ton of tanks moving up. Uh-oh, this could be bad for Flash if he loses this line of defenses. It looks like he's gonna retreat a little bit. He's gonna bring a lot of Vultures up and battle the Vultures of Fantasy. Fantasy with you know, good dozen tanks up there, pushing up towards Flash's natural expansion. Flash needs to get more mines down, I feel, to stop this attack. Because for some reason he's lost a lot of tanks already. And he's a little bit behind here, I'd say. But yeah, Fantasy knows he needs to move out. He is down economically compared to Flash, a little bit at least. Flash with a lot of mines down. That's going to help. Looks like, oh wow, Fantasy with a great position there, going to catch off a couple of transferring SCVs. I wasn't aware he actually is now in between Flash's upper right and upper left bases. So he's got a very solid position now. Science Vessel even out for Fantasy. Flash is going to have to break this contain a little bit before he can, you know, breathe easier. Because right now he's in a bit of trouble, caught in between here. Fantasy once again sneaking a lot of vultures into the upper right. That's going to kill off all the SCVs up there, I feel. Wow, nice work there by Fantasy. Very, very nice work, killing off SCVs and managing to stop Flash's vultures from getting up the ramp just a little bit. Flash needs to use that vulture to kill off the SCV building at the bottom right. It looks like Flash is actually way ahead in the food count. So we'll see if that matters, if Flash can pull off an attack at this point. Yeah, he is going to go for an attack now in the center of the map. Going to try to pick off the tanks. Looks like the tanks getting killed. And Flash right now with a position that's superior, I think. Yeah, he does have the superior position. Science Vessel there to spot the mines. And no, it looks like Flash... oh, he's behind in upgrades. That does make a big difference. Yeah, that is going to make a difference there. So it's going to be a two-shot kill for Flash's tanks for now. Meanwhile, Fantasy once again going for a drop. This time in the upper right. Once again harassing this upper right. He's going to kill off another huge number of FCVs. Flash has not seen that coming. And he's going to be in trouble there. Yeah, four vultures going to do a lot of damage, forcing Flash to stop mining. And what is going on with the Valkyries from Flash? I have no idea. I mean, just using a ton of Valkyries there to kill off the dropship, but I don't know why Flash has made so many Valkyries. That's kind of insane. Flash maybe malfunctioning a little bit here. I mean, they're good at killing off dropships, I guess, but there's really not enough rates to warrant that many Valkyries. Meanwhile, Flash is gonna have to watch out for the mines. He's now really lost his edge economically with this big harassment at the upper right. Flash is forced to bring some dropships over to combat these vultures. I mean, these vultures just causing so much havoc in Flash's base. Totally economically worth it, and stopping Flash from doing anything of his own. Fantasy now clearing off mines in the center of the map. He has map control despite being a little bit behind in the early part of the games. He still has control over more parts of the map than Flash does. He's going to see this hidden expansion in the bottom right here. He's going to pick off... oh wow, Flash is going to lose a Valkyrie, it seems. Yeah, losing a Valkyrie there just to spy, I guess. Not sure if that was worth it, but Flash just getting out harassed by Fantasy at this point. I'm amazed that Vulture has 6 kills already, all SCVs. Flash just trying to hold on to the upper right with the defenses, but Fantasy with the superior position and upgrades at this point. So we'll see if Flash can use his dropships to his advantage. Flash needs to get some kind of big drop off in the center or in one of the main bases to try to slow Fantasy down here. Flash with wow, 8 dropships that could be going for a big doom drop in the center of one of the main bases, maybe on the production areas. We'll have to see if Fantasy spots it before it comes. Mine's going to spot some of them. And Fantasy, meanwhile, is going to get himself perched up for a big attack there. Flash is going to have to get some more tanks there to defend, actually. Once again, yeah, he's forced to drop his tanks to defend instead of using them on a doom drop somewhere. Flash has gotten the bottom and the bottom right expansion, so He's doing fine economically. Both players are really at this point. Fantasy with that nice D matrix, using the ability of the science vessel. Whoa, what is going on there with Fantasy? He's building a lot of rates. He's gonna really try to pick off those dropships before they can do more damage. What is Flash doing? Oh, I think he's sacrificing these SCVs on purpose, actually, just to free up his food count. Now he's maxed out. Flash with +0, +2. Fantasy with I believe +2 right now for his upgrades. Now Fantasy going for the bottom right position. He knows Flash has the edge, so it means he has to do some more damage to the economy here. Nice D matrix on the forward tank, making the other tanks waste their shots, and Fantasy trying to get up the ramp desperately. Flash now trying to reinforce with his dropships. That one mine's going to get down. Oh, wow. Almost got down and killed off all those tanks. But we'll see what happens. Flash is going to, looks like, charge up some SCVs. And he is going to survive in the bottom right there, it looks like, for now. But he is going to lose that natural expansion. Flash needs to use those dropships for something productive, and he's just using them to ship reinforcements at this point. But there's a lot of rates there. That could be very bad for Flash, actually, if he gets caught with those dropships, in a bad position. Those rates could make the difference in this game here. I don't know. Oh my goodness, they're cloaked also. Oh, this could be really bad for Flash. This could be absolutely terrible for Flash if he doesn't have any Goliaths down. Yeah, he gets his army down in time, but the dropships might be a lost cause for Flash. Oh, yeah, dropships getting intercepted here. Flash in big trouble now. Now that he's lost all of his dropships to the cost of almost nothing for Fantasy. So Flash losing his mobility now. That's a pretty big loss for him. Fantasy with those cloak rates, going to pick off some tanks there at the upper right. And Flash now putting down some engineering, some turrets also to protect the bottom right. So trying to mine and protect it at the same time. Fantasy right now at, looks like 3 productive bases. Flash at also maybe 4 productive bases. Long game, and still just could go any way. Looking at the lack of physics labs, so not going to go for battle cruisers yet, but could happen if it goes very long. Certainly can. Looks like, oh, dropship getting picked off there. Another dropship getting picked off. Fantasy, good job there, trying to deny the mobility from Flash with his wraiths. Flash needs, I think, more Goliaths and fewer tanks in his army mix here. Yeah, those wraiths just managing to kill off the dropships as they come out of the starports. Flash is getting a little bit out harassed by Fantasy here, and huge amount of tanks in the middle of the map. Both players close to maxed out at this point. And Flash now getting besieged here at the bottom, at the middle right. That mine could detonate. Oh, it looks like it almost does, but doesn't. I think that's going to be enough tanks to take out Flash's cliff position, though. This could be bad for Flash. Could lose his expansion here at the right side. Looks like he will, unless he gets some dropships there to reinforce. This is what I meant. Flash has lost the mobility edge he had there with that loss of those dropships. Fantasy with, it looks like 3-3 upgrades. Flash losing some more dropships. Those might have been full units also. Those rates, I mean, what happened to Flash's Valkyries? I don't know. But he needs to get rid of those rates really soon. He had for like 4 Valkyries at one point, I think. Flash needs to ferry over some Goliaths, it appears. Yeah, he is going to ferry over some Goliaths now. That is going to be able to kill off some of the rates. But doesn't look like Fantasy is going to make more raids. He's going to have to just change his balance of units once again. Maybe he's going to go for some dropships of his own. But he does have map control right now, so he doesn't really need to do that. Fantasy looks like is going to go for an assault at the right side. Flash, meanwhile, getting with his 3 dropships there, looks like going to defend his upper right from those wraiths, those pesky wraiths. Yeah, Fantasy now, a little bit desperate for resources, is going to go for that position on the right side. We'll see if Flash can get a drop off there and kill it off. That would really give him an advantage at this point. So, wow, more dropships from Flash. Really a ton of dropships from Flash. It looks like he is going to go for the mobility advantage once again. Fantasy, though, harassing at the top position. Nice work there. And bringing in actually a solid assault here. Flash has just got empty dropships there, so he's not able to reinforce. He's spread out all over the map, actually. It's just not the best play from Flash, actually. Not able to save all of his bases, which are just so spread out right now. Not able to get to the center of the map, which is where the crucial positioning is. And it looks like the tanks have finished it off here at the top. Or maybe not finished it off. Looks like Flash still going to try to defend there, but his tanks are just getting massacred here by Fantasy. Yeah, just shows the power of those upgrades. Those tanks are just getting cut apart by the opposing tanks once they're sieged up. And we'll see if either player decides to go for some other sort of tech at this point. Flash now killing off some of his dropships. I think he's realized that like 10 is enough. So like, he can build some other units. Fantasy, even with upgrades on his air attack. Now Fantasy going for another assault on the right side. For some reason, Flash is just not being able to keep up with Fantasy this entire game. He's getting out-harassed. He's losing his expansions unnecessarily, I feel. So, you know, we'll see if the Bionic Terran can come back from this. Alright, maybe he is going to go for that Doom Drop now, finally. We'll have to see. There's a lot of missile turrets there, but they're going to be focused on that barracks instead of the dropship. So Flash is going to go for a huge drop in, looks like, the main base here. But we'll see if he manages to pull it off. A lot of vultures, tanks coming back. Goliath's focusing down on the dropships. Flash putting down the drop. It's very clumped up, though. Oh, wow. Wow, that did not work out at all for Flash. That was a total failure of a drop there, and he's going to lose his dropships at this point. With the cloak rates coming up, Flash is going to lose his dropships, forced to drop at the bottom, and it doesn't look like he's going to do much in terms of damage. Flash really suffering at this point. Yeah, that drop did not work out at all for Flash. I feel like he may have been better off trying to use them to kill off Fantasy's units rather than going for the main like that. Fantasy totally was prepared for that, I have to say. Just shows how amazing his play is at this point. Just catching it, and what I thought would do more damage just did not do damage for Flash. So Flash may have made a mistake there going for those dropships like he did. Fantasy sticking to just holding the center of the map here. His D-Matrix tanks and all that. And besieging the upper right. Showing that Flash might be economically behind right now. Oh, he's going to lose some more dropships full of units. Yeah, that's really just showing how powerful those cloak rates are. Really helping Fantasy gain map control this game. Still, though, Flash could come back. He is behind at this point, though, in the food count and I think economically. So Fantasy once again with a large army on the bottom right. I mean, sorry, on the upper right. Looks like Flash building missile turrets next to Fantasy's missile turrets. And now a huge assault coming at the right side here. Flash needs to get his dropships in position, but those raids could intercept those dropships. He really needs to get those dropships full of units there to take out Fantasy's containment here. Yeah, looks like Fantasy, wow, has gotten missile turrets in almost all the routes that Flash can go to bring his reinforcements. Flash could lose that right side base there and just be set even further behind. Oh no! Oh no! Disaster for Flash! Getting caught by those raids. This is what I meant by the center of the map being so important. Those raids picking off another huge chunk of Flash's army. Meanwhile, Flash really not going to accomplish much with this attack here. Not enough Goliaths on the ground for Flash to pick off those raids on time. Yeah, it looks like both players suffering some losses. I'd say Flash is definitely behind at this point. Way behind. I mean, this shows the difference between, you know, the inner supply lines and the outer supply lines. Flash, you know, forced to extend his supply lines all around the map, whereas Fantasy, holding the center, has just much shorter routes to resupply, so he doesn't even need dropships. He's done fine without them. Looks like Fantasy gonna try to go for the upper right now. Flash was just one tank there. Really not gonna be enough, I feel. No, definitely not. Flash now going to have to reinforce with a lot more tanks, a lot more dropships. And Fantasy just showing what he can do with just upgraded tanks. I mean, just not even needing tanks and rates, not needing dropships at all. I'm surprised there's more, not more dropping on top of those tanks by Flash. I guess he's afraid of the rates and the Goliaths. But at this point, Fantasy with a huge lead in this game once he manages to take out that upper right. Oh no, looks like Flash is going to run into some more missile turrets here. Going to run into some more rates. Those dropships going to get picked off once again. Flash has lost like 30 dropships this game. But he's going to go for a drop now at the bottom. Fantasy though with some units ready to intercept there. Fantasy definitely spotted at this point, though. I mean, sorry, Flash definitely spotted at this point. He's going to go for a drop on the factory, so finally he does get down in a good position. We'll see if he manages to disrupt the production enough to make this worth it. Fantasy bringing a lot of reinforcements up, once again picking off more Flash's dropships. Flash might get some of the factories, but not sure if this drop is worth it for Flash. Yeah, it looks like Fantasy now sieging a lot of tanks up, and he also is going to get those Wraiths up there to help attack. Just 3 Goliaths remaining for Flash to protect against the Wraiths. Focusing down now on the machine chops. Here comes the Wraiths, going to go for the Goliaths, it seems. Yeah, the Goliaths are probably going to be able to get taken out here. He is going to take out the Goliaths, and that's going to be the end for Flash's drop. Flash still besieged there in the upper right. I mean, both players with just maybe one operative base each in terms of mining, as they're showing us right now. Yeah, it looks like both players petering out with their resources at this point. I think one more battle, and we'll decide the game for one of the two players. We'll have to see. Excuse me. Fantasy's rates, I have to say, have been just playing a critical role this whole game, denying Flash mobility. And Flash now getting besieged. Yeah, Flash just has the bottom right now, and that's mining. Fantasy bringing over his armada there of rates once again. Flash seeing it. At this point, he could probably abandon the upper right without too much harm. He's just going for the gas right now there. But, of course, you can't really evacuate, I guess. So Fantasy and Flash, they're just both fighting with sticks and stones at this point. Not many units left for both players because of the mining out of the map. As I love saying, you know, World War III, we don't know what World War III will be fought with, but we know what World War IV will be fought with, and that will be sticks and stones. Flash now. Now with another drop, going for the main once again, spotted. Oh, this could be disastrous. This is going to be disastrous for Flash. He's going to lose his dropships once again, and he just doesn't have a great position there. Oh, this drop does not work out at all for Flash. GG coming from Flash, realizing that he is just too far behind. Losing those dropships has just cost him so much this whole game. I have to say, not the best play from Flash, and exemplary play from Fantasy at this point. So Flash losing the first game. I'll be moving on to game 2 right now. Thank you guys for watching this long game between the two great Terran players.